If you'd like to use the same report filters or very similar report filters over and over again, there's a really quick and easy tool that you can use inside reports called report profiles. What they allow you to do is basically set up your filters and then save your filters with a unique name that when you go back to that report again, you can look up the different report profiles that you've set up, select the report that you want, and then if you want to, you can customize the report profiles. So that's what I'm going to show you. Now, the date ranges don't actually apply in report profiles, and the idea behind that is obviously that each time you run the report, you would generally be resetting that field. But all of your other filters are applicable. So let's say, for example, I have a frequently required report where it's specific to one particular property. So I'm going to go in and set one of my properties as a filter. And let's say it's also specific to a certain status. I'm going to, or in this case, I'm going to select two statuses, cancelled and provisional. Okay, that's my report. At this point, I now want to save this as a profile so that I can come into this report and each time I come in, I can load that profile really quickly and easily. And down just beneath your Generate Report buttons, you'll see that there's Save Profile and Save Profile As. So if I click on Save Profile, it comes up with a window asking me for profile information. And profile information would include a name for this particular profile. So I'm actually going to call it my Mara River Lodge report. The next field is this level. Now level is three options. There's global, environment, and user. User meaning that only I will have access to this report profile. Environment means that anyone on the environment you're working on, so that's RS or PA, PB, depending on your REST request environment. Some of you might be working on WA or WB if you're just on the web servers. So this particular profile would be applicable to that environment only. And global means it's available to any user at any environment. So those are the different settings. I'm going to keep it on user. Default means that when I open this report, it's automatically going to load this profile. Now, be careful of default if you're using the level for global or environment. So if you're using global, for example, or environment, it means that all users will have access to this profile. And if you set this profile as the default, it can irritate a lot of users that are repetitively using this report, and you've gone and set it to default. So just remember that. Title is the name of the report that displays on your actual exported report name and in your report title bar that I'm highlighting with my cursor. So title, I'm also going to call it the Mara River Lodge. And in this case, I'm going to call it the report, just so that you can see the difference. Favorites means that when I tick this checkbox, it's actually going to display in my favorites from my report. So I'm going to tick this tick box so we can have a look at that and see it. Note, you'll find that as you work with profiles, notes become important because some of your profiles are very similar. So a note is a way to distinguish one report from the other. So I'm going to call this my Mara River Lodge Confirmed and Provisional Report. And then I'm going to create that profile. Okay, great. So my profile has been created. You can see up here that my report profile is called the Mara River Lodge and that it will be set to only show my Mara River Lodge accommodation types at confirmed and provisional status. All right, so let's navigate away from this report. And now we're going to return to the report and see what exactly it is that we did. So I'm going to go back. This was a standard report. Now you'll see here it loads as normal. But now when I want to load my report profile, I go to my magnifying glass and there's my report profile called Mara River Lodge. If I want to see the note relevant to that, it shows me the note that I added earlier on. And to select that report profile, I click on it. And you'll notice now there's my Mara River Lodge filter settings as well as the status. And at this point, I can generate the report. Really quick and easy. Just to remind you that you also selected to include it in your favorites. Now the effect of that is that when I scroll up to the reports menu, I have a my favorites out of my reports, and you'll see inside of there's the my favorite that I created for Mara River Lodge. So a really quick and easy way to get to it. Let me show you that in action really quickly. Okay, so from this screen I remember, okay, I need to run that report. I go up to my reports, into my favorites, go to Mara River Lodge, and there you go. It takes me straight to my report, loads my profiles, I can customize my date range and run the report. You might find sometimes that you want to use a report profile, but you just want to slightly change it and save it as something else. In that case, you would simply do this. Let's say I change all my statuses. So it's still Mara River Lodge, but I now am filtering it for all statuses. I don't want to override the Mara River Lodge filter profile that I created. So this time, instead of saying save profile to update the existing one, I'm going to select save profile as, and I can obviously apply a completely new name. So I'm going to just say Mara my report, and I'm going to add it to my favorites, and I'm going to say here it's all statuses. Okay, so if I go into my report profiles over here, I have two report profiles. When I load my first one, it's for provisional and confirmed. And when I go into my new one that I saved, it's for all my statuses. And you'll also notice that obviously when I go into my favorites, I've got the first report and the second report shown there. So you can see that working with profiles is really quick and easy, and it's a great way to save time. Enjoy working with them.